Welcome back. Exodus chapter 10. Let's look at verse 7. Remember, this plague of locusts is coming. We talked about that yesterday. We know all these other plagues, the hail, the mosquitoes, the gnats, oh, goodness gracious, so many things happening. Now, the locusts are coming. And this little section is interesting because Pharaoh's officials, his servants, come to him basically like, we can't take much more of this. So let's look at verse 7. It says, Pharaoh's officials now came to Pharaoh and appealed to him, how long will you let this man hold us hostage? Let the men go to worship the Lord their God. Don't you realize that Egypt lies in ruins? So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. All right, he told them, go and worship the Lord your God. But who exactly will be going with you? Moses replied, we will all go, young and old, our sons and daughters, and our flocks and herds. We must all join together in celebrating a festival to the Lord. Verse 10 is interesting here. Pharaoh retorted, the Lord will certainly need to be with you if I let you take your little ones. I can see through your evil plan. Never. Only the men may go and worship the Lord, since that is what you requested. And Pharaoh threw them out of the palace. Okay. So let's stop and go back and think for a second. At the start of this, these officials and servants of Pharaoh are struggling because Pharaoh's hard heart is getting them all in trouble. And they desperately want an end to this destruction, right? They're seeing what's happening to the nation. They know this is not stopping. And so they want to let them go. Like, hey, can we not do this? We don't have anything left. We're killed the plants. We've killed animals. We have dead people. We have all these different awful plagues and terrible things from boils to mosquitoes and everything in between that are hitting us. Can we just let them go? And Pharaoh calls them in and asks who will go. So here's what Pharaoh was wanting to do. Pharaoh was wanting to bargain, right? He wanted to allow some of them to go into the wilderness and the rest to stay. So what he wanted to do is let the men go and keep the women and children, because he knew if he kept the women and children, the men would have to come back. They weren't going to abandon their wives. They weren't going to abandon their families. They weren't going to leave them there in Egypt. So it was a hostage situation was really kind of what it was. So Pharaoh offers this compromise. See, God was not going to compromise with Pharaoh. God held all the leverage. When you're in the position of power, why would you compromise? And God is in the ultimate position of power, so why would he compromise? There's no reason for him to compromise. So Pharaoh wanted to do what a lot of us wanted to do, or want to do constantly, to give in to God in some way without fully submitting to him. So partial submission. Pharaoh let the men go, keep everybody else. See, we do the same thing. Well, I'll let this sin go, or I'll do this, God, but I won't do that. So Pharaoh was wanting to give partial obedience, just like we want to give partial obedience. You can't give partial obedience to God. God is wanting all of us, right? And once again, he holds the leverage in our lives too. Us bargaining with God is as ridiculous as Pharaoh bargaining with God. It doesn't work. So when we look at our lives, fully submit to God. Will it always be easy? No. Will it always be exactly what you would want to do? No. But he is God and we are not. Submit to the Lord, submit your will, submit your life to him, and you will be blessed. Take it easy.